Arctic air is on the way. Alert day conditions through the weekend. How cold our high temperatures get and how cold those wind chills get as well in the full forecast.
Plus, with this Arctic blast on the way, how families can keep their oldest members safe.
And later, the Dane County Board of Supervisors introducing a proposal to help people battling addiction, while a local alderwoman says their project should not be built in her northeast side Madison district. We welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. We start with this upcoming weather where if you plan to be outside this weekend, be careful and you might want to get back inside quickly.
Yeah, temperatures will be dropping into the single digits, creating some very dangerous conditions.
And for more on what to expect, here's meteorologist Blaze Keller with the very latest.
That's right. Alert day conditions still for this weekend as temperatures dip into the single digits for highs. Overnight lows dipping below zero and our wind chill values anywhere between 20 to 30, 35 degrees below zero across all of the News 3 Now coverage area. We have that cold weather advisory in effect until Sunday at 10 a.m. not only for all of our area, but essentially for all of Wisconsin. Again, these are replacing wind chill alerts. So they're covering the same thing, just the name is a little different from the National Weather Service to better articulate the severe weather that is on the way. The cold front has passed, but the cold Arctic air is just now beginning to move into the La Crosse area where they're only at 17. We're at 24 in Madison and still at 24 in Milwaukee. Back into the Minneapolis area and beyond, that's more of that Arctic air that moves in for tomorrow. Single digits both above and below zero for actual air temperatures. Northwesterly winds, they're going to become breezy as that Arctic air starts to move on in, and it is going to start to get cold here rather quickly. Already feeling like we're at single digits in Decorah as well as in La Crosse, Black River Falls, Viroqua. Everybody else feeling pretty much right around, I would say, 13, 14 degrees. Those wind chills are only going to get colder as we move throughout the night and stay cold throughout Saturday, particularly, and Sunday morning as well. We're going to touch on just how cold those wind chills get and the relief that is on the way. 30s and 40s for temperatures when that warm up returns in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, thank you. With this very cold weather on the way, safety should be top of mind, especially for senior citizens and their families.
That's right. Our Maya Tate has tips on keeping seniors safe.
Winter can be one of the most dangerous times of year for senior citizens, from slipping and falling on ice to having to deal with extreme cold. But there are a few ways to combat those concerns.
Falling is always a concern for seniors, but in the colder months, falling can lead to more serious health concerns. Even on a sunny day, if you're planning on traveling outside, be cautious of ice and take it slow. Walk with someone or with assistance from a walker or cane, or maybe even cleats if you have them. Falls are one of the most common reasons for EMS services to be called for seniors.
The state of Wisconsin has the highest falls death rate for older adults over the age of 60 in the entire.
Staying in touch is another way to keep loved ones safe.
Sometimes roles switch, right? We want to make sure that parents are safe. And so just checking in, a call, maybe it's a check-in in the morning and a check-in in the evening, or setting up a schedule where you're going to touch base with your family members so that they're not alone.
When it comes to staying safe, make a plan for the colder months. When you know that extreme weather is coming, make sure to stock up on groceries and double check that you have enough of your prescription medicine. If you're visiting a senior, it can also be helpful to double check that they have their heat on so that they can remain comfortable during the winter.
If you're concerned for yourself or a family member, there are many resources both online and at local senior centers to help you learn more about this time of year and how to stay safe. Maya Tate, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Maya. And the Verona Library is one of those places. They'll be open this weekend for people to come in and warm up during normal business hours, 9 to 4 Saturday and 1 to 5 on Sunday. Also in the news, the Henry Vilas Zoo Lights Show will have to be canceled this weekend due to the dangerously cold temperatures. People with tickets will automatically be refunded. The lights are reopening, though, December 17th, running through the 23rd. Tickets are $12 per person, and children and 3 and under are free.
Track the forecast for yourself with our First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners, road conditions, also the latest radar, and you can download it for free in your phone's app store. Simply search WISC Weather. Almost 1 year to the day since the Abundant Life Christian School shooting, the school releasing a statement. The principal at the time of the shooting sat alongside the school's new principal to send their love to the victims' families and thank those who stepped up to help.
We also reflect on the tremendous outpouring of support that we received, not just from our church community, but from Madison and Dane County, around the state, and even across the nation and the world. We were well loved and cared for.
Now, in the latest update on the case, the shooter's father, Jeffrey Rupp, now moved to have the complaint against him dismissed. He's been charged with 2 counts of selling a dangerous weapon to someone under 18 and 1 count of contributing to child delinquency. Online court records don't indicate when he'll next be in court.
And now to continuing coverage of a homicide case that began in Dodgeville earlier this year. A court found that 23-year-old Gavin Thompson currently lacks competency but will likely regain it. Thompson is charged with multiple felonies, including 1 count of first-degree intentional homicide. Those charges stem from the death of 67-year-old Dorinda Segebrecht back in July. A criminal complaint says Thompson entered her home, stabbed her, and then drove her body to Nebraska. He was arrested and taken back to Wisconsin. In September, his attorneys raised concerns about his competency.
We now know the identity of a woman killed in a Beloit shooting this week. The Rock County Medical Examiner says she is 25-year-old Ariana Phobes of Beloit. Police say she was shot Wednesday evening on Colony Court and taken to a hospital where she later died. Investigators have not yet said what led to the shooting, except they do say it was an isolated incident. So far, no arrests have been made. Madison's North Side could soon be getting additional resources for those who deal with drug and mental health issues.
But some say what they call this harm reduction center could strain a community that's already overburdened. Our Maren Rosen spoke with the local alder and has more. Maren.
Well, Eric and Sarah, District 17 Alder Sabrina Madison said she was disappointed in what she called a lack of transparency from the county, saying they had done little research on the demands in the area. The clinic would be built at 1765 Farah Road, an area Alder Madison says is already beyond capacity with resources for high-risk individuals, including both a men's drop-in shelter and a soon-to-open permanent men's shelter. District 17 received over 100 drug-related EMS calls in the last year and 93 MPD calls in the last 2 months. In this area is also the Medic 8, the busiest EMS service in the city.
I was very shocked because something of this magnitude, without any engagement, without engaging me, without engaging the residents or the district in general, was very concerning. I'm a fan of folks need somewhere to go if they have nowhere else to go. But the issues and the challenges that those folks who are using those spaces have is not enough resources to deal with the challenges that they're currently having.
District 17 constituents said they are opposed to this clinic being in their neighborhoods because of the layers of crime, drug incidents, EMS overload, and shelter density.
While residents will support this, and I actually support, harm reduction centers, but not in a way where we don't engage the immediate business area and the residents around it to plan for what this will look like and to deal with the unintended consequences.
Alder Madison is concerned this project could cause more challenges for residents, first responders, and people seeking care.
If they can figure out how to deal with the increase in cost for ambulance service, like how are they going to manage that? They're not EMS. They will have to, the folks who need immediate, EMS services will have to call EMS. How do we continue to sort of deal with that increase when they're already at capacity? It becomes the city of Madison having to figure that out.
The Board of Health for Dane County and Madison did table the proposal earlier today to allow for more information and discussion to be gathered. And Alder Madison told me she is looking forward to county officials visiting District 17 to meet with residents and business owners to address these concerns before moving forward with the project.
All right, Maren, thank you. One of the biggest names in the race for governor sitting down with us on For the Record this week. That would be former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, who joined the large Democratic primary field this week. But Barnes is carrying the weight of a failed run for the United States Senate back in 2022 when he lost to current Senator Ron Johnson by just 1 percentage point. He tells political reporter Ellie LaLiberte he is ready for his comeback campaign.
What makes you think this time around will be different?
And I'll tell you, in 2018, we won by a little over half a point. So I've been on both sides of that coin. And I think often about the conversation I had with Barack Obama after my election, after the 22 election. And he talked about the race he lost for Congress. He talked about what he did after. He got back into organizing, and that's exactly what I did. I've been working with a group called Power to the Polls. We've been focused on engaging new and infrequent voters.
You can watch Ellie's conversation with Mandela Barnes this Sunday morning at 10:30 on For the Record. Still ahead, what new data is revealing about the current economy and where it may be headed.
Plus, how Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County is planning to celebrate their 60th anniversary. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. The U.S. economy has shifted from red hot to cool and now to somewhat frozen. That's how some key economists describe the latest findings from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Data shows hiring in the U.S. continued to stall in September and October, while employees clung to their jobs. Experts say this is consistent with what is known as a low hire, low fire market.
Ever since 2022, when we saw an acceleration in inflation and interest rates, employers saw their costs to hire more headcount increase substantially. They're becoming more cautious about how many workers they're adding to their payrolls.
Not all industries have stayed stagnant, however. AI is booming. A clearer snapshot of employment activity will be available the morning of December 16th when the BLS releases its November jobs report.
Big Brothers Big Sisters of Dane County is getting ready for a major milestone. Next year will be the local agency's 60th anniversary. So to celebrate, the nonprofit is launching a new Alumni Ambassador program. This program invites former Bigs and Littles to reconnect and share their stories and give back to the organization. Participants will receive free training, resources, and ongoing support to help them share their experiences.
And so we want to know, are you still connected to your Big or Little? Tell us about your experience. We know that so many have these wonderful stories of how, of just the impact that Bigs or Littles made in their lives.
To learn more about the program and volunteer, you can head to bbbsmadison.org/60th anniversary.
Still ahead, the Wisconsin DNR sends out a reminder of what holiday waste you can and cannot recycle.
Plus, some unique fashion designs popping up at the Dane County Regional Airport. We'll tell you how they're connected to a local literacy project.
And just how low will those temperatures get over the weekend? Blaze returns his complete forecast after the break.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Right now, 20 detailed and handmade paper clothing designs from the Madison Reading Project's Paper Fashion Design Competition are on display at Dane County Regional Airport. Now, these designs are made by local teams of individuals, students, businesses, artists, and nonprofits, highlighting some of the best creativity from the 8 years the local nonprofit has produced the annual Fashion Design Show. This year's theme was legend and fairy tales.
Whether it's one person in a team or 10 person in a team, they have the theme that comes out every January. They design to the theme any type of fashion they want to, whether it's a dress, pants, you name it. In June, they battle it out on the catwalk.
And since 2014, the Madison Reading Project has given more than 885,000 books to communities across Greater Dane County, and you can find the designs in the airport's art court, and they'll be up until mid-June.
This is an important one. The DNR wants you to remember what not to recycle this holiday season. Do not recycle holiday light strings, plastic bags, or wrap, batteries, or electronics. They can wrap around equipment or even start fires. Also, be sure to throw away tissue paper, foil or glitter wrapping, and also photo or musical cards, which can also contaminate other recyclables. Officials say to check your local guidelines as well, because accepted items can vary by community. Well, hopefully all of your outdoor decorations are already up. You would not want to be outside doing that right now, right, Blaze?
No, because it is going to be a cold weekend. Though it's going to be generally quiet, our latest round of Arctic air is starting to move in tonight. Temperatures dipping below zero for many of us, especially the further north. Underneath mostly cloudy conditions, northwesterly winds are going to be what causes those very cold wind chills tonight and keep us on the chillier side throughout the rest of the weekend, particularly during the daytime hours on Saturday. But it's not all bad news. As soon as Monday rolls around, as we're returning back to work, temperatures are back into the double digits. We're into the 30s and 40s by the middle of next week. So as we are going into Saturday morning, it'll feel about 15 to 25 degrees below zero for pretty much all of central and southern Wisconsin, even into the heart of the afternoon. Still feeling 15 to 25 degrees below zero. We're going to be losing the cloud cover as we go throughout the day. The center of that high pressure system setting up overnight Saturday into Sunday. Clear skies, northerly winds, and the snow on the ground, while not fresh, all combining together to create those very cold wind chills, 25 to 35 degrees below zero as we are starting off Sunday. By the afternoon, it's starting to feel a little bit better. By Monday morning, we're saying goodbye to a lot of those below zero wind chills. Southerly winds taking over at this point. We're back into those double digits by Monday afternoon. With temperatures dipping below zero tonight and Saturday night, coupled with those northwesterly winds, 10 to 20, 25 miles per hour. Here in the yellow box is where our wind chills will be, and that could cause frostbite to set in within about 10 to 30 minutes, depending on how cold those wind chill values are. So limit your time and your pet's time outdoors over the weekend, especially during those morning hours. We're climbing into the single digits on Saturday and Sunday, 5 for a high temperature on Saturday, 8 for a high temperature on Sunday. As I mentioned, we'll see more sunshine as the day goes on throughout Saturday, and then on Sunday, plenty of sunshine. But we'll be warm inside as those sky conditions clear on out. The reason? Because an Arctic high is moving on in. We may see some light snow, mainly across the Wisconsin-Illinois border through the morning hours on Saturday, looking at very minor accumulations. And then again, because this high pressure system is so strong, it really does keep a lot of otherwise snowmakers pretty much away from us. We will start to see those southerly winds take on over as we head into Sunday night, and that's going to allow our temperatures to warm on up quickly into Monday. 2 days with single-digit high temperatures may seem like a long period to deal with, but we've spent about 5 days, nearly 6 days with single-digit high temperatures back in the 1960s, right around 1963. We've pretty much, we don't really see a whole long stretch during the month of December. Here are our top 5 longest stretches. So if we hit about 2 days, it'll be probably within the top 10, but that is the good news. At least it's only 2 days. It could be much longer, as you just saw. 20s on Monday, 30s on Tuesday, 40s Wednesday and Thursday. And then we cool off a little bit, but remain dry as we go into the upcoming weekend, which looks to be in the 30s, so you can get back outside and decorate for Christmas if you haven't done so already.
It's funny, we think 30 is warm.
It's going to definitely be warm.
It's going to feel like it.
Yeah.
That's just terrible. I'll tell you, we should follow the Packers to Denver, where it's going to be in the 60s. That showdown with one of the best teams in the NFL, you can watch it cozy at home with a blanket by the fireplace if possible. Right here on News 3 Now this Sunday, the Pack in Denver to face the Broncos. Denver's won 10 in a row, the Packers 4 in a row. Kickoff set for 3:25 on CBS. Postseason action going on with the Badgers today, a big one.
Yes, definitely coming up next. We got some Badgers playing, dancing in the tournament. I'll have that for you next on News 3 Now. Boogieing into the Sweet 16, Wisconsin volleyball is taking on a team that they've never beat before, the Stanford Trees. With an opportunity to change that, the Badgers start off strong as Une Agashi gets one to splash down in the first set, and then here comes Carter Booth sealing the set with the final point, but Stanford wasn't going to lay down that easy. Julia Lalashi puts one on the floor, helping them win this set, but the Badgers didn't let them get any more after that. Up 2-1. A block sent a ball out of play. The Badgers win this one 3-2, marking the first ever win over Stanford in team history and keeps them dancing to play Texas next in the regional finals with a mentality you can't ignore.
Coming into the match with the mentality that we're on the attack, knowing that, we have a little bit of an advantage in trans from what we've studied over the film and things like that, and, just running with that. I think it was really an emphasis for us to always be the one throwing punches, not the one taking them.
Former Badger and Steeler linebacker TJ Watt had a successful surgery yesterday and is now headed home today after his lung partially collapsed after a dry needling treatment Wednesday at the Steelers facility. While the recovery timeline is unknown for JJ, his brother tweeted that everything went well during the surgery and that he is being released from the hospital today. And don't forget, the Wisconsin Huddle airs tonight at 6:30, right after this show. The guest is Wisconsin's basketball forward, Austin Rapp. You don't want to miss this one.
All right, Kate, thank you. And let's turn one more time to Blaze for a final check of the forecast, an important one.
Yes, the wind chills, they are going to come crashing down here as we head further into the overnight hours, slipping below 0 by about 10. And from there, it only gets colder, about 10 to 15 degrees below 0 once we cross the midnight hour. 15 to 20 degrees below 0 as we are waking up on Saturday. Saturday is going to feel 15 to 25 degrees below 0 all throughout the day, despite that high temperature of 5 degrees. Some morning snow may be possible. We become more sunny as the day goes on, leading to a sunny but still cold Sunday. Morning wind chill Sunday morning, 25 to 35 degrees below 0. Please make sure that you are staying warm this weekend and limiting your time and your pet's time outdoors. 20s, double digits starting on Monday, 30s, 40s even by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week.
Sarah can't wait. She wants all that to melt so she can go running again.
I will. It doesn't need to melt. It just needs to be above.
To be safe on the sidewalks, though.
Just
we don't
2-digit.
We don't need to slip it.
I will.
All right. Entertainment Tonight's coming up next.
And you can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000 Plus. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at 10.